Hello students. So in the previous class we were talking about that of the question answers which is related to that of the some natural phenomenon. Students, in that we had discussed also that how can we protect ourselves against that of the environment. Now today we will continue with the question answers of the chapter. Now you see here students, we have finished up to question number 4, that is that of the true false. Now today we will start with that of the question number 4, and the question number 4 said that sometimes it happens that a crackling sound is heard while taking off a sweater during winter. So you see student, when you take off your sweater, then what happens, sometimes a crackling sound comes out from the sweater when you start taking it off from your body. So what is the reason behind it? So the reason is that the friction occurs between that of your body and that of your sweater. And due to this friction, electric discharge is produced. And as electric discharge occurs, due to which energy is released. And you know that whenever energy is released, this energy causes a sound. And that sound, we call it a crackling sound. So we can write the answer, that is, it is due to the friction of the electric discharge. The electric discharge takes place due to the friction of the body and the sweater. Okay, so as you take off your sweater, there will be a friction occur between your body and that of your sweater, and due to which at the time of electric discharge, so this electric discharge, student, it takes place due to the friction that occurs between the sweater and your body, and this electric discharge, it releases some amount of energy. So we will say that at the time of electric discharge, energy is released. Okay, and because of the release of this energy, a crackling sound is heard. So we can write it. You can write it, student, up to here, that electric discharge, it takes place due to the friction of the body and that of the sweater, and at the time of the electric discharge, when the friction occurred, electric discharge created. This electric discharge, due to which energy is released, and it is because of this energy, we can write it. It is because of this energy, sorry students, it is because of this released energy, crackling sound is produced. So you can write the answer, students, that why it happens that when we take off the sweater, the crackling sound is present. It is because of the energy released due to the electric discharge, and that electric discharge is produced when the sweater and that of the body will rub each other, and due to the friction, there is a electric discharge is produced. Now we will move to the next question, student, and the next question is, you can see here that explain why a charged body loses its charge if we touch it with our hand. So you see here, student, this we had discussed when we were talking about that of the electrolyting, okay, electrolyting conductor, when we were talking about that, students. So in that you had heard about that in that case, students, aluminium strip was there, which is connected with that of the metal rod, and that metal rod is connected with that of the disc. Okay, and then when you take a charged body near to that of the disc, due to which the metal rod also get charged, and finally the aluminium strip get charged, and it will become far away from each other because both of them possess the same charge. As you touch the disc, the aluminium strip again comes to its original shape. Why is this so? Because when you touch it, the charge start moving from your body. So we can say that why a charged body loses its charge when we touch it with our hand, it is because human body is itself a good conductor of electricity. So when you touch a charged body, the charge start moving from our body to that of the earth. Okay, so we can write it. Human body is a good conductor of electricity. Okay, so human body is a good conductor of electricity. As we touch it, the charges starts moving in our body to the earth. Okay, and thus the charged body loses its charge. So we can say thus charged body loses its charge. So why is this so, students? Because we know that the human body, they are a good conductor. So when you touch it, then what will happen? The electric charge will start flowing from your body to that of the earth. Okay, and that is why we can say, as all the charge will flow from your body to the earth, so the charged body will ultimately lose its charge and become discharged. Okay, so here it is the answer of the 4th and 5th. Now we will move to the next question. Now if you see the next question, students, so in the next question you can see here, question is that name the scale on which the destructive energy of an earthquake is measured. An earthquake measures 3 on its scale. Now here it is said that on this scale the earthquake measure is 3. Would it be measured by seismograph? And is it likely to cause much damage? So you see the students, when we were studying about that of the magnitude of the earthquake, we said that we can find the intensity of the earthquake with the help of a scale, and this scale was invented by a scientist, and that is Charles Francis Richter, and that scale is known as a Richter scale. Okay, so we can say the scale on which the destructive energy of an earthquake, the intensity or the destructive, because you know more will be the intensity of the earthquake, more will be the destructive will be the earthquake. So we can measure the destructive energy of the earthquake with the help of the scale, that is Richter scale. Now on that Richter scale, student, an earthquake is measured, and that is 3. So would it be measured by the seismograph? Yes. Why is it so? Because the Richter scale, the reading which is given by that of the Charles Francis Richter on the scale, it reading starts from the 0 to 10. Then absolutely 3 will be there. So we can find we can measure it with the help of the seismograph. Now, is it likely to cause much damage? No. Because we know that if it is from 1 to 3, then it will be a non-noticed earthquake. It will not go to this much shaking and all. So it will be a non-noticed at all. If it is a 4 to 5, then a mild earthquake will be there, which will cause a little shaking of that of the building. But if it is more than 5, if the magnitude of the earthquake is more than 5, then yes, we can say that it will cause the violent shaking, and violent shaking, it means it will cause the buildings to collapse, or it will damage or destroy the weaker structure. So until and unless if it is in the magnitude up to 5, then we will consider that it will not cause much damage. So now we can write the answers to this, and that is the scale on which destructive energy can be measured is Richter scale. Okay, so this Richter scale, students, it is given by Charles Francis Richter. Okay, and not only this, earthquake measure 3, so would it like to be measured? Yes, because it would be measured since Richter scale noted reading from 1 to 10. Now, would it measure? Is it likely to cause much damage, students? And we will say no. Up to the magnitude of 5, it will 5, or you can say up to the magnitude of 4 students. Okay, it will not cause much damage. So I am writing it here so that you can write the answer. So after this, I am writing the answer here, student. It will not cause much damage. Okay, so you see here, students, since the scale, the destructive energy of the earthquake, which is measured by this scale, and that is Richter scale. And yes, this Richter scale, it can be noted, the reading can be noted from 1 to 10, so it can be measured by that of the seismograph. As well as the students, how it is likely to be much damage, causes much damage? No, because up to 1 to 3 magnitude is there. It is not noticed at all. If it is a 4, then it will cause a weaker shaking. Okay, even up to 5 also it will cause a violent shaking. So we can say that if it is up to a magnitude of 4, it will not going to cause any much damage. Okay, so Richter scale is there and it can be noted up to a reading from 1 to 10. Now we will move to the next question. Now students, we will move to the next question of the chapter. And there are 2 questions, that is 7 and 8 students. You can see the 7th question. 7th question is that suggest 3 measures to protect ourselves from lightning. So you see here, students, we have to suggest 3 measures by which we can protect, which we can use to protect ourselves from lightning. So you see here, what kind of 3 measures that we can use? There are a lot of measures that we can use to protect ourselves from lightning. Out of that, student, the first one that you can use it, that do not take bath during lightning. Okay, because the possibility is there, water is a good conductor of electricity. So if the lightning may occur, so it will be cause the electric shock to you. The second thing, they do not use the cable wire phone or TV. Okay, because that also work on electricity. Okay. Then the next one is that if possible, then please stay inside or remain in that the closed area, because the effect of the lightning will be less. Okay, so we can write the 3 measures are answer 7. the three measures. So the first one is, do not use TV or cable phone during lightning, students. Okay, so during lightning. The second that you can use, students, I am writing second here itself. So the second one that you can use it, that is stay indoor. Okay, so you can stay indoor or under a covered area. Okay, so under a covered area. So the first one is, do not use TV or cable phone, because you know TV or cable phone, it consisting of the electricity flows through it, so possibility is there that it will give shock to you. The second one is stay indoor, because if lightning occurs, better to be stay indoor or under a covered area. Okay, so impact of the lightning will be less. Then the third one is, students, the third measure. I am writing third measure here. Do not take bath. Do not take bath during lightning. Okay, so you see here, students, do not use TV or cable phone during lightning. Stay indoor or under a covered area. And the third one is, do not take bath during lightning, because water is also what? It is a good conductor of electricity. So it may also cause electric shock to the person who is taking bath. Okay, so these are the three measures that we can take to protect ourselves from lightning. Now we will move to the next question, students. So in the next question, you see the question is that explain why the charged balloon is repelled by another charged balloon, whereas the uncharged balloon is attracted by the charged balloon. Why is it so, students, that if you have taken a two charged balloon and when you keep close to them, they start repelling each other. They shows the repulsion. But when you take an uncharged balloon and that of a charged balloon, and when you take them to come close to each other, then they will attract each other. It is because, students, when the two charged balloon is there, they are repelling each other. It means both of them is having the same charge. Okay, so if two charged balloons are there, so they both will have the same charge. And since they are having the same charge, that is the positive charge, and both of them is having the positive charge, so like charges are there, students. So we know that like charges, they repel each other. And due to this, we can say that the two charged balloons, they repel each other. They shows the repulsion. But if a charged balloon is there, that is a positive charge, and the another is an uncharged. Okay, it means it is consisting of the negative charge. Okay, it is having the more charge than that of the charged balloon. Okay, which is having the positive charge. Okay, so that is why they both of them is opposite charges. So when they bring close to each other, they show the attraction, because both of them is what? They are the unlike charges, and we know that the unlike charges, they attracts each other. Okay, so we can write the answer. Answer is, since you can see here, students, since both the charged balloon have same charges, that is positive charge, so they shows the repulsion. So we can say, so they repel each other. But uncharged and charged balloon are having opposite charges. So they attract each other. So they attract each other since both of them is having the different charges. We know that the like charges will repel each other and unlike charges they attract each other. So it is because of the having the two same kind of a charges they repel each other, and it is because of having two different kind of a charges they attract each other. Now we will move to the next question, students. Now we will move to the next question, students, and we can see you that list 3 states in India where the earthquake are more likely to strike. So you see here, students, when we were talking about that of the seismic zone or that of the fault zone, what we had studied about it, we discussed that basically these are those portions, those areas where the chances of the earthquake is more. Okay, so that is a fault zone. So what are the different states in India that we had discussed also, which we call as a fault zone or that of the seismic zone? So here it is asking about that of the 3 states, students. So you can write any of the 3 states, including answer 9, that is Rajasthan, Kashmir and Gujarat. Students. Okay, so it is Rajasthan, Kashmir and that of the Gujarat. We can say that these are the 3 states of India where the chances of the earthquake is more likely to strike. It is because of that they are also known as the fault zone or that of the seismic zone. Now if you see the next question, students, so next question is, suppose you are outside your home and an earthquake strikes, then what precaution would you take to protect yourself? So if you are outside, students, and if earthquake occurs, then what precaution would you take? At first, you will go to that area, that open space area, which will be away from that of the tree or that of a pole or that of a signboard or any kind of a building. Okay, so first of all, what precaution you will take? That is, stand at open place, at open space area, students, staying away from poles, buildings, trees, signs. Okay, so stand at the open space, or we should go to that of the open space area where we can stay away ourselves from that of the building, from the pole, from that of the trees, from that of the signboard. So ultimately the earthquake occur, if it will fall, you will be safe. Then the next one that you can do, that if suppose you are in a car or you are in a vehicle, then you will stop the car, or you can move slowly the vehicle to an open area and then you will stop and stay inside the vehicle until and unless the earthquake stops. Okay, so we can write it. The second one that you can do, students, that is the second precaution. If you you are in a vehicle, then stop the vehicle or move slowly into an open area, open space area, and stay inside till the earthquake stops. Okay, so if you are traveling in a vehicle, or if you are driving a vehicle or driving a car, then you should stop there if it is open space, or you will drive the car to a place which is an open space area, and you will stay there, stay inside it until and unless the earthquake stops. So these are the different precautions that you can use to protect yourself from that of the earthquake, if the earthquake is strike and if you are outside that of the home. Okay? Now see, students, the next question is that the weather department has projected that thunderstorm can likely to occur on a certain day. Suppose you are going out on that day. Would you like to carry an umbrella, students? So your answer will be no. Why is this so? Because that umbrella is consisting of a metal tip or a metal rod is there, and you know that the metal, they are the good conductor of electricity, so it will more prone to be likely to be struck by that of the lightning. Okay, so we should not carry the umbrella with us, because lightning can occur. It will be more likely to be lightning if the metal object is there, and you know that umbrella is consisting of that of the metal object. So we can write it no. No umbrella is not likely to be carried when thunderstorm occurs. It is because the metallic object which is present in the which is in the umbrella will be more prone to be lightning strike. So you can see here, student, this umbrella, it is made up of a metallic object. It consisting of a metal. So we can say that this metallic object which is present in that of the umbrella, umbrella is made up of that of the metal object. So this metallic object, since it is a good conductor, so it will be more prone to that of the lightning to strike on it. Okay, so it is suggested that we should not carry an umbrella with it, because it consisting of a metal in it. It is made up of a metallic object. Okay, since it is a good conductor, so light consisting of electric charges, and that charges, they need a conductor through which they can pass through the earth. Okay, so if umbrella is there, is a metal object, so it will allow the electric charges to pass through it. That is why it is suggested not to carry the umbrella with when there will be just chances of the thunder storm on a certain day. Okay, students? So these are the question answers, NCERT question answers of that of the sum natural phenomenon, students. So we had discussed all the chapter including that of the question answers of the chapter. Okay.